Greetings. Greetings all you visitors and newcomers to Acapulco. My name is Bob Podolsky. I've been here for a while and I've been looking forward to meeting some of you. Quite a few of you, I imagine. Most of you, I gather, if you are an expat living here in Acapulco, you probably came here because you've been searching for a life of peace, prosperity, and freedom. Did I get that right? Those are the things most people seek and rarely find. Peace, prosperity, freedom. Certainly, we can tell that worldwide peace has probably never existed on this planet, except very locally, for a while, here and there. Prosperity? Well, I think it's interesting to note that a good lunch that you might buy today in the United States for $5, if you can find a good lunch for $5, you could have bought that same lunch in 1913 for 5 cents. So prosperity is not exactly easily manifest these days, for reasons that we can go into. Freedom, peace, prosperity, and freedom, those are the 3 things I said people are seeking. I hope you are too. I hope you're one of the dreamers who seeks these things and one who has not given up. If you haven't given up on this stuff, hey, I want to meet you. We've got things to talk about. So let's talk for a minute about freedom. Some of you probably identify yourselves as part of the freedom movement. Everybody wants freedom. It's the big missing ingredient in our lives, especially coming from the United States. Well, people become involved in freedom movements when freedom is something of which they're deprived. You don't get involved in a freedom movement if you've got plenty of freedom. You don't need a freedom movement when you've got plenty of freedom. So what's the answer? How do we arrive at freedom? Well, the freedom movement doesn't work. Sorry. Those of you who thought it might work, I'm sure some of you at one time were followers of Ron Paul, and you thought, freedom, he's our man, freedom. Well, politics doesn't work. Politics does not exist so that you can have what you want. Sorry, it's a myth. By the way, for those of you who don't know me, last month I turned 80. So I've been rattling around this planet for over 80 years now. And I'm a keen observer. My first career, I was a theoretical physicist. Well, I was living the life of Dilbert, and I didn't like it, so I got retrained, became a psychotherapist. Thought that was really cool. And I loved helping people improve their lives. And I got pretty good at that. I've even written a book on that subject. Some of you might want to read it. Anyway, freedom as a top goal or value simply doesn't work. In order to have the life you want, I've found out, you have to have an ethic. An ethic has 2 parts. One part is something you value, a definition of what it is you want. If you make it freedom, you wind up with real problems. And the reason is, if you increase freedom across the board for everyone, you're increasing the freedom of the people that are plundering you as much as you are, if not more, than increasing your own freedom. They get more freedom too, more freedom to plunder you. And so you don't wind up getting ahead by increasing freedom for everyone, everywhere, all the time. Sorry. It just It's a zero-sum game, it seems. But life is not. Life is definitely not a zero-sum game. So, professionally, I've gone from being a physicist to a therapist to a soul bonder to an ethicist and a growth consultant. What I do now basically is I help people to grow. Emotional growth on the individual level and organizational growth for people who want to have institutions that are ethical. It can be done. And it's amazing when you do it. I participated in 20 years of experimental research on maximizing ethics and creativity in groups. Learned a lot from it. It's part of what I teach. So if you are one of those dreamers and you have not given up, I want to meet you because I have a whole lot of information that you probably will find useful. As I said, I've been out there looking for the good stuff for a long time. I am probably one of the senior members of this expat community, not in a hierarchic sense, just in the sense of my age. I've had more opportunity than most people here to observe what's going on and to come to some understanding of it. I want to share with you. So I'm going to be holding some meetings, and out of those meetings will come some ongoing groups. So we can talk about all the details, but we need to get together, and I need to be able to invite you. So what I'm going to ask you to do is very simple. I'd like you to send me an email, and in the subject line, just write, "Invite me." And I will see that you will get an invitation when the dates are set for the meetings. Now, the email address. I'd like you to send the invitation request to Cronus, C-R-O-N-U-S, Cronus, at titanians.org. I'll spell that out for you. It's T-I-T-A-N as in November, I-A-N as in November, S. Titanians.org. And while you're at it, you might want to go to the titanians.org website and look around. There's a lot of information there, and some of it's pretty good. You'll like it, I promise. So that's all for this time. I will be posting on a regular basis, hopefully, and we'll see what happens. Life is an experiment. You're in charge of your life experiment. Thank you very much.